Hello, I'm Phill Jupitus. I'd like to tell you a true story about something that happened to me when I was on tour in the UK about 15 years ago. I was due to play in Dartford in Kent, and the day before the Dartford gig I got a phone call from a friend of mine who's called Dave Henderson, who works for Q magazine, and he phones me up and he goes, Phil, it's Dave. I went, oh, mate, how are you? He goes, yeah, good. He goes, are you doing anything tomorrow? And I went, I've got a gig in Dartford. Why? What? He went, if I guaranteed that I could get you to Dartford, when do you sound check? And I said, we got the call time's about 6 at the venue, but Grat's my tour manager, he can set it all up. But and I have to check a microphone. But I mean, doors are at 7:30. You can definitely get me there by 7:15 at the latest. I'll be all right. He went, if I can guarantee to get you there by 7:15 at the latest, could you do me a favour in the afternoon? I went, what favour, Dave? What are you on about? He goes, I need you to present the award for Best Producer to William Orbit for the album Ray of Light. And I went, you've had someone drop out? And he went, yeah, we've had a dropout. I went, so who? And he went, Madonna. And I went, right, so Madonna's dropped out of your award ceremony, and and then I stopped a bit, and I went, am I the first person you called, Dave? He went, yeah. I went, fuck off, Dave, come on. He went, look, you're about my 15th, can you do it? And I went, is there free beer? And he went, yeah. I went, yeah, fuck it, great, why not? And so that's how I found myself the afternoon before going to do a gig on my UK tour in Dartford, going to the Grosvenor House Hotel in London, in London's West End, to an awards ceremony where I was due to give William Orbit the award for Best Producer. And you arrive and there's a red carpet and there's like all the cameras there taking your picture. It's a very odd environment. I mean, I know I like been in showbiz for a while, but I still find it quite weird, that whole area of the business, the when you're on show as ostensibly a celebrity, which I've never really felt like one. I hope you'd agree. So I do, and we go in and I have to sit at a specific table, and I'm sat at a table with Sporty Spice, Bez from the Happy Mondays, and Sean Ryder. And Sean Ryder said hello to me once. He said hello 3 times. Hello, mate, good to see you. Hello, Sean. And then he'd look away and look away. Mate, good to see you. Look away. Hey, it's you. He had no idea who I was. It's great. Tony Wright from Terrorvision had been on Nevermind the Buzzcocks a few times. He's a delightful man who now he is a printer in near Haworth in Yorkshire, and he's also one of the few people that knows how to make dry stone walls in the UK. Talented man, and he was in the band Terrorvision. And as such, I mean, Tony has always been very linked to the countryside in Yorkshire, the Dales, and he's steeped in law. And so we're sitting chatting, at the Q Awards at the Grosvenor House Hotel. And at one point, Tony Wright of Terrorvision says to me, of course, you can't eat badgers because they're a variety of bear. And that was the sort of, it was not the sort of chat that I was expecting to be having at the Q Awards. And so we're there. Johnny Vaughan is hosting the event of the Big Breakfast at the time. Big news, Johnny. Johnny Vaughan hosting was you basically know what Johnny's saying by inflection rather than diction. And so and if you listen to the down pitch, he's like at the end of a sentence, but then he when you're on a down slope, you're approaching the end of a sentence. And Brian Eno got an award for something, and I knew I was going up after Brian Eno got some sort of special achievement award. And Brian Eno was on stage. I thought, well, that means it's me next. And so Brian goes off, and Johnny Vaughan goes, ladies and gentlemen, the next award. It was only this award. Well, it was Ronnie the Buzzcocks. Phill Jupitus. And so I stand and I go to walk towards the stage and present the award. And as I'm walking towards the stage, I see there's a table, and there's a lot of very large men around the table. Huge men. and the table's right in the middle of the room, and there's massive security men around this table. But in the middle, in the midst of these big men, I see these black spiky heads, and it is Mick. It's sorry I tell it's Ronnie Wood and Keith Richards of the Rolling Stones. It's Ronnie and Keith of the Rolling Stones. Keith's getting some sort of quick give him an award before he dies award, and he's there. And I noticed him, and I was quite excited. And I didn't realise he was there, and I think, fuck, I've got to mention this somehow. And so I go on stage, and I go, ladies and gentlemen, I'm fully aware that most of you in the room have no idea who I am. In fact, I just walked past Keith Richards, and I'm fairly sure I overheard him saying, "Fucking hell, that Kenny Rogers has let himself go." Got a laugh, did the job. I gave William Orbit his award, a less likely man to produce a Madonna album you've never met. He's got a kind of bearing of a kind of avuncular 6'7" scoutmaster.
He's very tall. He's got quite thin hair, glasses, talks a little bit like that. It's always great to work with Madonna. But
you don't imagine Madonna. Hey, Madonna, what are we gonna fucking do here? Hey, ooh. You don't imagine.
Would you like a little bit more bass on that one, Madonna? Perhaps a little, gated reverb.
It's much more in the George Martin mould. So I'm walking back to my table, and I'm nearly at the table, and I hear Phill, and I look round, and Ronnie Wood of the Rolling Stones is going, Phill. And I'm at the table, and it's one of the only times in my life I've ever been able to say, "I'm terribly sorry, Mel C, the Stones want me." And I go to the Rolling Stones table, and Ronnie Wood does this all the time. He's always laughing, because presumably the first thought when he gets up in the day is, "Fucking hell, I'm in the Rolling Stones." I'm not that good a guitarist at the end of the day, really. And he goes, "Come on, Phill, nice to meet you, mate. Nice one, fucking nice one, funny." He goes, "Listen, there's someone I want you to meet. This is Keith." And he indicates Keith Richards. And the thing that flashed through my head to say that I genuinely didn't say, and this really did, I know, it sounds like I'm doing a bit, but genuinely on the day, I really wanted to go, "Hello, Keith, what do you do?" And I didn't. I'm glad I didn't. I'd have made a cunt of myself. So I just went, "Oh, cheers, thanks. Bless you. Oh, nice to meet you, Keith." And Keith Richards, his hand, he just moves so slowly. There's such an efficiency and economy in his movement. His hand, it's just an Armani sleeve cantilevered from his body, and this like bony claw took my chubby little hand in his grasp, and he shook my hand, and he looked up at me, he went, "Thanks for the mention," like that. It's so lovely. He gave me a scarf, a purple scarf. I was wearing a purple suit, and he gave me a scarf, and he just tucked it in his pocket. He went, "You look nice now." It's the most amazing thing. And I kind of was aware that the room was looking at me with the Stones, and so I knelt down, because the ceremony was continuing, and I knelt down, like hunkered down like this. Keith Richards was there, and Ronnie Wood was there. And I said, "It's really, really weird to be here with you two, because last week when I went in to do Buzzcocks, I met McCartney, who was doing later with Jules Holland, and without missing a beat, Ronnie Wood looks at me and he goes, 'Really? Did you tell him he was a cunt?'" And that's my true story. It's the only rock and roll anecdote I've got.